Let's talk about buying a tax foreclosure property. These can be the best bargains in real estate if you know how to do it right. So make sure you watch the end of this video because I'm going to tell you all the hazards that you need to worry about. Plus, I'm going to give you a special ninja way to acquire properties without even having to go to the auction just for the taxes that are owed. So let's get into it. So the first thing you want to know is, how do we get the list? Well, you get the list by doing a simple Google search. Search the county, the state, and tax sale. So for example, Orange County, Florida tax sale, or Montgomery County, Pennsylvania tax sale, or Hamilton County, Ohio tax sale. So you do that simple Google search, and if they're having a tax sale coming up, it's going to show up. Now, if you don't see anything, call over to your tax collector's office and ask, first of all, if they have tax sales, and if so, when is the next sale? And they'll tell you, and these are always available for free download on the internet from the counties that auction them off. So very easy to get. And while you're getting that list on the internet, make sure that you also get something called the terms and conditions of sale. I'll get to that in a minute, but make sure you download that too. So you're going to get your list, and it's going to have a lot of properties on it. And understand that that list of a lot of properties is going to shrink down by the time the sale happens, because these lists are put out typically 45 days prior to the auction. And in between 45 days when they put out the list and the day of the auction, a lot of people run in and pay their taxes at the last minute. That's just part of what they do. So understand this is part of the game. So we have a strategy to deal with that. And here's what that strategy is. The first thing you do when you get the list is cross off the areas you're not interested in. Usually the lists are organized by township or section. So just cross off the sections that you're maybe too far from your house, you're just not interested in. So you have a sub list. And then with that list, you start doing electronic due diligence. All that fancy term means is you look them up on Google Maps, and you put the address in Google Maps, and you take a little man and drag him down onto the street and look around. Look at the property, look up the street, down the street, see if it looks interesting. If you like it, circle it. If you don't like it, cross it off. Our idea is to eliminate properties we don't like and indicate ones we really, really do like. Do that all the way up to about a week prior to the sale. At a week prior to the sale, pull the list again and see what's still on the list, because what they're going to do is remove properties from the list that are not going to be sold. So just compare your short list versus what's there and just cross the ones off your list that are no longer going to be sold because there's nothing to do. Now you start your physical due diligence. What you're going to do there is you're going to drive by properties, look at them, and see if you're still interested. Look to see if there's evidence of any fire damage, any water damage, because sometimes they're being sold because there was a fire or water. I mean, I had one property. Remember, I drove up to it. It looked beautiful. I was like, oh, this is so exciting. And I then got out of the car, went to knock on the front door, see if anybody was there, find out information, are they a tenant that wants to stay, or the owner, what are their plans? And as I'm walking up, I'm looking, and I realized that there was some blackening under the eaves. I'm like, oh, I think there was a fire here. And I also noticed then above the windows, there was a little bit of that. And as I got even closer, I could see there was a hole in the roof where I think the fire department had taken an axe and gone through the roof and put water in it. And as I got closer to the house, I saw the ceilings were all falling in. I'm like, okay, this is not a house I want. I didn't want that kind of waterlogged, damaged wreck. Could have mold. It just, water's as bad as fire as far as damage. So you do have to be careful and make sure you look at these properties. And don't invest your hard-earned money without doing good, diligent research, because smart investors, they strike fast when the deal is right, but when the deal is not right, they just move on. They don't try to force a deal. So that's one of your first lessons in investing. Don't force the deal. Strike when the deal is right. So anyway, you drive by your properties. If there are things for sale, note them down, call the listing realtor, find out about what places you're going for in the neighborhood, and drive all the properties. And then about 2 days prior to the sale, you're going to then pull the list again, cross off any ones that have now disappeared, and then do more electronic due diligence, which involves going on Zillow and going on Realtor.com, looking on Realtor.com for places that are for sale, so you see what things are going for in the neighborhood. And on Zillow, look for things that have sold, so you get an idea of prices. And then you get ready to bid. And you're going to go to the auction, and sometimes they're online where you just go on your computer. Sometimes it's a physical auction. Either way, high bidder is going to win that property. Also, what you need to do during this process is you need to read the terms of sale, and that's going to tell you a couple of important things. Number one, how to register for the sale. Typically, you have to register about a week in advance for the sale. So that's number one. Secondly, you've got to know how and when to make payment. Usually either doing cashier's checks or you're ACHing money in. Sometimes you're doing a small deposit ahead of time. Make sure that you understand that, because typically you're paying for these properties at the time you're the successful bidder. Might be right as soon as your bid is successful, it might be at the end of the sale, but it's going to be very shortly afterward, and you have to be prepared for that and know what the rules are. These are not things you can buy with a mortgage, because mortgage companies can't move that quickly, and sometimes properties at tax sale have title issues that have to be straightened out. Sometimes you have to do something called a quiet title action. Takes about 6 months, takes between $3,000 and $6,000, depending on the county and the attorney. So sometimes things like that need to be done. Also, sometimes you have something called a right of redemption, which says that the former owner can come and pay the taxes and pay you some extra money and keep the property. Not get it back, but keep the property. Georgia is probably the most prevalent example of this. In Georgia, there's a 1-year right of redemption. So when you buy the property in Georgia, the owner has the right to occupy the property, to be there, do anything they want for a year, and they have the right to pay what you paid plus 20% to reimburse you for your costs. So yeah, you get what you paid plus an extra 20%, but that's not what you wanted. You wanted the property, and you can't even set foot on that property for the first year. So you need to know about things like that. So make sure you educate yourself, and I've got a great method to do that. A friend of mine named Tony is the master at teaching tax sales and tax deed investing. And he teaches this all across the country. He's really a wonderful teacher. And he teaches this super ninja method where you get properties without any competition. You don't have to go to the auction. You get lists of properties, pick out the ones you want, and buy them for the taxes that are owed. Unbelievable deals. Really ninja way of doing it. When he told me about it, it was the first time I'd heard about it. And I've been doing this a long time. I was like, man, you are super on top of this. So I want to introduce you to Tony. So I did an interview with him. It's 15 or 20 minutes. It's here on YouTube. It's absolutely free. Click on the video link down below and go watch my interview with Tony. What he has is going to blow you away, because it's the education on tax sales you need, plus this super ninja method. This is attorney and investor Bob Diamond. Hope this has been helpful. If you liked it, you know what to do. And if you have any questions, put them down below. I'll get to them when and if I can. Can't promise, but I'll do my best. So with that, I wish you good luck. Go check out the Tony video, and I'll see you next time.